week. We're going to go the plum of the week.
Acapulco still right there. Peter Culture, Terra Nova, Van der Scala. Then comes You Beauty. Coming out of the 200 and Kings Bay is also starting to run on. Peter Culture, Van der Scala. Here comes Kings Bay with a good looking claim as they get to the 200. And Kings Bay now putting his best stride together. And Kings Bay is going on to score. Kings Bay will win it. Second position will go to Van der Scala, then Peter Culture. And a running on Buffalo Bill, then Terra Nova.
There you go, the plum of the week. And if you were on into bet, 9-2 in bucket loads, 7-2 best with your bookmaker. And that was meeting all these horses at level weights, Laff, and he'd beaten them, giving them weight. So it just was ridiculous.
Fantastic. And a good stake money too. Doug Campbell can now go from cargo section to economy class for his next trip, a 200 grand race.
Very good for Doug Campbell. He's one of the great supporters of Natal breeding, and he deserves everything he gets. Have you ever ridden for Doug Campbell?
I've run a few winners for Doug, yeah. I've been privileged enough to ride for him, yeah.
Nice man.
Great.
And when you got beaten on the ones that you should have won on, he never gave you a hard time.
No, he doesn't
throw his toys.
mumbles under his breath.
He mumbles, yeah. Jack Nicklaus, he mumbles under his breath.
As we said, let's go and move on and have a look at current affairs.
Hi, welcome to another edition of Current Affairs, and we had two races over the past weekend that we're going to show you. The Winter Derby turned out to be an interesting race down in Cape Town. Then of course we had the R1 Million Breeders' Mile, which was another great race, and it'll be interesting to see what they say. But James, let's start off with the Winter Derby. Is it that big a pointer these days?
I think that Walter makes it a big race for him. He says that he leaves all his best horses there. Because he won it 1 year, I think, with Pocket Power, he's now decided this is the way to go, and maybe these horses will be Pocket Powers next year. But, you know, River Crossing, he told us this is the best horse he's trained this year. He's got in training, there's no doubt about that.
Well, that doesn't make it a champion. If it's
No.
the best horse he's got in his yard, it's going to be the best horse against everyone's yard.
Correct.
But let's have a look at this race. Very interesting race. He wins it, Mike Bass wins it with Gifted for Glory, who's really proving to be a decent sort.
The rider gives him a bit of a wake up to start racing a bit closer to these leaders. They being followed by Johnny Rockets. He's easily 12 lengths off the lead. Racing up on his outside, the white cap of Gifted for Glory, Parter Familius and Skippy John Jones are the two at the back, and they're a dozen lengths off this leader. Midway round the turn, 700 metres left to go, and Awesome Power is out on the lead. Parker is racing up in second. Cigar Boy behind at third. They followed by Placido. The Arctic Dancer keeps that one company. King of Pain has crept a lot closer. He's now back 5 off them as they straighten up for head for home, and 400 metres left to go. Awesome Power tried to steal the race. He's out in front by a couple. Parker's in behind that. They being followed then by Cigar Boy. King of Pain is flat to the boards. He's making progress, but still has 2 to make up as they come to the final 100. King of Pain now starting to get his stride on the outside, and he's charging home. Cigar Boy back towards the inside, but King of Pain is in full cry. Also coming home well is Gifted for Glory. Gifted for Glory is flying. Gifted for Glory gets up to beat King of Pain. Got tight for minor money. Johnny Rockets was involved in a...
Yeah, well done to all concerned with Gifted for Glory. Mana, what did you think of the pace there?
Well, I remember having a chat to Carl at the mall, going through the mall, and we were doing the Cape Crawl, yeah. We could have a chat, and then that also Farid Anthony started running away with him, and we said, please don't do it. We're going to have to push his horses from the thousand now. It became very unenjoyable from there.
But he got clear. Farid got really clear. And it looked like this guy's pinched it, and Parker, these were going to fight it out. But slowly
the first 3 got away from us on top of the straight.
Yes.
And then we thought they're going to battle to get to us. And then suddenly the grey horse came out the pack, which I thought he should.
Yeah.
And the winner won a good race. He made up a lot of ground.
Well, when you look at the merit rating of the winner, he has 87 and the King of Pain is 100. He should have been getting 6.5 kilos, which is quite a lot of weight, and he ended up beating him at level weight. So he's going to get a hefty smack for that, I would have thought.
James, 2 runs ago, they thought the winner was ordinary.
Yeah.
Suddenly they'd thrown him over a bit of ground, and he's found it. He's found quite a bit of form.
Well, the handicapper will certainly put him in his place. But let's move on and go and have a look at the mile at Clearwood, where the KwaZulu-Natal horses get to strut their stuff for R1 million. Fantastic race.
About 9 lengths to make up. Romantic Balladier's got about 10 to go. Then comes Tinchy Strider. Corridor with the green caps about 11 lengths off the leader as they move towards the 900-meter marker. Barakar's on the outside of horses with about 12 to go. Then comes Saucy Savannah, and behind that one is Kalami. They're about to turn for home in the KwaZulu-Natal Breeders' Million Mile, and it's distinguished. They're off that inside running rail. King Neptune, Love Strikes, perfectly placed. Then Festival of Fire, King of Torts. Behind that one is Negev, who's come towards the outside to make a run. Towards the inside of that one, also trying to run on Romantic Balladeer. But Distinguished continues to go. King Neptune, Love Struck comes under pressure. Festival of Fire's down the inside. Koi Boy's running on. And also Gitiano's getting into the race. It's wide open. Distinguished continues to find Gitiano, Koi Boy, Corridor, Festival of Fire. But it's now Gitiano hit the front. Corridor and Koi Boy coming home hard. But Gitiano, Cookie Monster. Gitiano's going to win it. Koi Boy and Corridor second, then Koi Boy, Cookie Monster, Barakar behind that, King Neptune only.
I remember saying in my preview that this horse really looked well. He was beautifully turned out, wonderful for Mullins Bay, and won a very, very good race. Just touching on my horse, because it came up as second favourite. Sean said he hated the ground, it was cut up, and he put his hands down. He was beaten 4.8 lengths, so nothing to shine from his side. But looking at the result of the race, Mana, he's always been a useful horse, Gitiano, coming back to the mile now.
Yeah, I don't really know those horses so well, Lef, so I can't really comment about them. I don't ride that much in Durban anymore.
Well, what I must tell you is that when you looked at the weights and you used the Classic as a line, they carried level weights in the Classic. You gave this horse 5.5 kilos yesterday. Yeah. And I can tell you that 5.5 kilos makes a big difference. It shows you. This horse was the winner on his run in the Classic.
Well, the horse who ran second, I gave 7.5 kilos to. People forget. We lumbered us with a big weight and we were second run back. But listen, compliments to them. They've come out and run for a stake of R1 million. So well done to Alec Laird and his clients. Everyone involved with this horse. It's R1 million, 200 grand for second. Yeah, Garth Puller found the right spot for that horse as well. But
Basario bred this horse himself, so
That's
it's fantastic for him as well. You know, when you breed one yourself and you end up winning a race like that, just chatting about that, the Irish Derby was won by Jim Bolger.
Now, this is a very, very good. I especially watched the race. When they came into the ring, I remember the teletrack was showing the race, and there was this favourite, unbeaten ruler of the world, and I thought, this can't win. It looked thin, it looked sweaty, and I said, nah, maybe I haven't valued it right. Libertarian just been bought by Godolphin for big money. Did you see where they ran, James?
I saw where they ran, but what's impressive is Bolger, Jim Bolger, who you've probably come across in your travels, one of the top trainers around the world, you know, Jim?
Yeah, not personally, no.
Well, he ended up breeding the sire, which is Teofilio. He bred the dam, which is by Sharmadal. And as you know, he bred this. So you breed your own horse and win the Irish Derby. He said it was even more exciting than winning at Royal Ascot with the other horse, Dawn Approach, which he bred as well.
You know what was very, very lucky too, and I think it's important to point out, Libertarian was bought by Godolphin, but it was trained by a woman called Elaine Burke. And they must have made such a profit, James. So the point I'm trying to make is you've just got an unbeaten horse who's won the Epsom Derby, the runner-up, they could beat half a furlong. How does that work out? The two pacemakers stayed on for a place. So that's
Cape Crawl.
Oh, Mano better come in then.
Could have been the Cape Crawl. We got an interview with Tom Callahan. Let's go and have a look at that.
The euphoria that was created when Her Majesty the Queen led that magnificent filly into the winner's enclosure. And I likened it only to one man who has virtually saved South Africa single-handedly in the great Nelson Mandela. He says the show must go on, everything shall pass, and whatever the state of the great man is as we speak, there's probably no better time than to be in KwaZulu-Natal as far as selling racehorses and being in the big scheme of things with the lovely horses that are in KwaZulu-Natal at present.
Oh, absolutely, Andrew. Obviously, it was with mixed emotions that we had today, but what a fantastic morning. The gallops, once again, it's such a treat to actually get there and be part of the whole week, the build-up to the July. Our sale, the KZN yearling sale, is a big part of that build-up, and that is why we're here today at Suncoast Casino with the sea in the background. Quite exciting for us Vardies to come down and see the sea. It's a wonderful venue. We obviously partner with Suncoast Casino on the promenade in Durban. Although it's a tough place to actually run a sale, it really worked well last year. Just from a lifestyle perspective, people brought their families down, spent the day at the resort with a whole range of entertainment. Obviously the beach is right here. More importantly, we are selling some really top quality racehorses, and last year's sale was an excellent example of great affordability and value for money. We've had a couple of with a Group 1 winner, Happy Valentine, a couple of listed and stakes winners already out of last year's crop. And if you look at the field of the R1 million race attached to the sale, which is happening on July Day for the gradage of the sale, the field looks very strong. So we're very happy with the quality, and we're expecting more of the same this year.